Yo, what's up? This is Ricky from Team Project Attraction. Just got done finishing this book, Influence, which I talked about in my last video. And today I'm going to share with you the psychological trigger of scarcity and how you can use it to be the most valuable guy in the room. So much so that you can even have women fighting over you.
I say, oh, why does it feel so good to be there? Getting what I want, boy, why does that make you so mad?
So first off, what is scarcity and why is it so powerful? You know, the book Influence talks about how even if you know that this trigger is working, knowing about it isn't enough to stop it from having an effect on you. A lot of the other emotional and psychological triggers it talked about, just becoming aware of it, like reciprocity. When you give something, you automatically want to give something back. Just being aware of it can kind of help you put a defense against it. But scarcity is literally wired into our hunter-gatherer part of our brain, which means that when you see a resource that is limited, our brain is wired to go for it because it makes it high value. There's not very much of it. And if you see in our society today that marketers play on this a lot, limited time only just a few left, get it now before this offer goes away. You'll hear all these things. Why is that? Well, it's to basically knock you off the fence and actually buy this shit before you decide not to or get distracted. It focuses you in on something and your brain can't comprehend, can't pull itself out of it, but you realize you believe this thing to be of high value when it could definitely well be not high value. Definitely will be not. Too much caffeine. Anyways, so before I tell you exactly how to use scarcity to actually get women to fight over you, I'm going to tell you a little story about a man named Barry Dillard. Now, in 1973, Barry Dillard was the vice president of an American broadcast company, and Time magazine actually called him a miracle mogul. Now, Time magazine had labeled him this because he was actually very successful as the head of Paramount Pictures and Fox television network. Now, here's where things get interesting. He agreed to pay $3.3 million for one showing of the Poseidon Adventure on his television channel. Now, why this is so astounding, back in 1973, since that point, the most anyone had ever paid for a viewing of a movie was the movie Patton, which someone paid $2 million for. So really, this payment, why it was so shocking that he'd pay $3.3 million for one viewing of the Poseidon Adventure on his channel, was that he actually risked losing $1 million in profit just to get the Poseidon Adventure on his channel. So that's a lot of money to lose for just one viewing. Now, why would someone like Barry Dillard, who was very successful, actually fall for a scheme to pay that much money and actually lose profit to get the Poseidon Adventure? Well, a little minor but noteworthy detail is this was the first time a movie had been offered to multiple companies in an open auction bid. So really, the guys that were selling the Poseidon Adventure for broadcast channels to play them on their channel played the networks against each other. So really, they created scarcity to up the bid of their movie to be played on a channel. So now applying this to dating and success with women, one of the key points, this is a bonus for you, one of the key techniques I teach my students is when you're at a bar or at a club, is to create what I call a spider web, which means at the beginning of the night, just start pulling girls over, introducing yourself to the group if you have wings with you, talking to them, introduce them to your friends, and immediately go out and bring some other girls over too. Hey, what's your name? Be really friendly. And start this network, this web of people talking to each other, and you are the hub of the web because you introduced everyone to each other. So what's cool about that is you're giving value to your wings and who's around you. You're introducing people. You're breaking that wall where people don't like to go up and take the initiative to introduce themselves because they're so afraid of rejection. You're doing that thing for them, so they appreciate that. And then you can have the pick of the litter where you're talking to people. Now, as this is going on, people are picking up that you are the hub and that you are talking to all these women. So what does that make you? That makes you the most valuable person there. You have the choice of talking to whoever you want, going home with whoever you want, making out with whoever you want. You have all the power. Actually, I used this, last weekend, and my night, I was getting going, and I was just doing some minor approaches, just trying to get the social skills fired up. So I go and talk to a few girls, and that didn't go anywhere. My game wasn't that great or anything. It was just like, hey, what's up? Kind of fell flat. And I was like, well, I'll see you. Have a good night. And they kind of blew me off, you know. I did about 3 sets like that. And then kind of my friends met up with me, started getting warmed up, started getting a little bit more relaxed. And then we started doing the spider web, started bringing girls over, introducing them. I positioned myself in a spot where there's a lot of traffic in the bar or club. And so I was pulling girls over, introducing them. And then, before I know it, I'm surrounded by like 10 girls, my buddies, and I can talk to whoever, and I'm just enjoying myself. Well, then I look up, and a lot of the girls that I had approached earlier the night that kind of blew me off, like, oh, have a good night, buddy, were actually looking at me, and just they had this sheer desire in their eyes, because the trigger had switched, where actually, before I was just some random stranger, now I was someone of value that they wanted because I was surrounded by girls, and I could pick whoever I wanted. So the value switched. So next time you're out, make sure to kind of network and get yourself in a little bit of a spider web of girls, and then pick the one you are attracted to and start running your charismatic, confident game on her. All right? Until next time, peace.